I think it doesn't show on camera that my hands are kind of blue, which is great because it would have been really weird to see a whole video of me waving my blue fingers around. The struggles of people who have colorful hair. Although I think you can't even see that my hair is half blue on camera. Thanks, iPhone camera. Hello everyone, it's Nina, and I know that I haven't uploaded in like 2 weeks. But I was traveling with my family. We were celebrating my brother's 18th birthday and we went to Washington, D.C. I had a great time. But I just wouldn't have the time to, you know, film and create content and then edit and post. It just wasn't possible for me. So here I am 2 weeks later. Also, the semester just started, and for this entire week I've been just trying to gather up my things and, you know, get my life back together. But yeah, today I have a very exciting book haul for you guys. It's probably going to be my last one in a while because I'm going on a big major book buying ban, and this is my January/February haul. So these are the books that I either got in January or February. So let's begin, shall we? So the first book that I got in 2019 was a book that I kind of picked up on a whim. Like, I already wanted this book, but there was like a promotion going on Amazon Brazil, and my dad was gonna get 2 books. It was like you got 4 books and the cheapest one was free or something like that. I needed to get a book for my friend because it was her birthday in January, and then I just wanted this book and it completed the 4 books. So the first book that I got is Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I have heard nothing but great things about this series. I don't really know like specifically what it's about. I know it's sci-fi and I think it's dystopian. I don't know. The really interesting thing about this book is that it is told in various formats. So like logs and I don't know, letters and emails. I have no idea. Like, it's completely different than any other book I've ever seen, and I have heard nothing but amazing things about these series. Did I put the cover on wrong? Yeah, I put the cover on wrong. Anyways, I've heard nothing but great things about this series, so I am really excited to start reading the book. The second book that I got was actually a book that my dad got me. My parents went to the US right before we traveled, like alone without me and my brother. And my dad got this book for me because he knows I really love this series and I don't have this book yet. And the book that my dad got me is A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs. This is the 4th installment in the Peculiar series, like the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar series. And I am so excited to read this. Like, of course, I'm excited to read all these books because I bought them. But I loved the original Miss Peregrine's trilogy. I love the characters, I love the atmosphere, and I can't wait to read A Map of Days. The next 2 books that I got, I actually ordered in December, I think, right after Christmas or something like that, but they only got here in January, and one of them actually got here in February, like after I traveled, because I ordered them from the book depository, which, you know, sends from the UK, and I live in Brazil, so of course it was going to take a little while. And the books that I got are Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman and When You Are Old by William Butler Yeats. So these 2 are a part of the Penguin Drop Caps collection, which I've been collecting since November last year, and these 2 are poetry collections. This one has like fairy tales, but this one I think is purely poetry. I have actually started reading When You Are Old. I really love some of the poems in here. I have to mark which ones I love. But yeah, I love this collection so much. The books are so pretty, and these 2 just sounded really interesting to me. I'm trying to get a little bit more into poetry, and these are 2 colors that I don't really have a lot of in my shelf, the pink and the purple, so yeah, love these. The next book that I got is a book that I just bought on a whim. Like, I just decided I'm going to get this book right now, and I really wanted to read it before I traveled. I got it like a week before I traveled. I remember I was reading a big book that I just finished, and I had only a few days until I traveled, and I had so much to do before then that I didn't want to start another big book. So I didn't know if I wanted to read this book or not because it's I want to say controversial, but I don't know if that's the right word. There's people who love it, people who hate it, and there are some really problematic aspects to it. So, I don't know. I just didn't know if I was going to like it. I had heard so many mixed reviews about it that I didn't know if I should read it or not. But then my friend read it and she really liked it. And even though our tastes aren't exactly like the same, we do read a lot of the same stuff, which is YA. So I just decided to buy it on a whim. It's a short book and it was perfect for me to read before my trip. And that book is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I'm pretty sure that if you are involved in the YA community, you've probably heard of this book by now. It came out in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, and this book is something. There are a lot of problematic things going on in this book, and even though I could identify those aspects and I didn't agree with them, I loved this book. I just can't deny it. I loved The Cruel Prince. It just got me like engaged from the very beginning and I couldn't put it down. The characters, the world, it's so interesting. So if you didn't know, in this book we follow Jude, who is a human that lives in the world of fairy. But the fairies are super cruel and they don't like humans, and Jude has to survive in this world with her twin Taryn, and that's really all I'm gonna say about this book. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think the title says a lot, but I don't know, just pick up this book. I think it's an interesting reading experience and I really loved it. I give it 4 out of 5 stars, even though it really is kind of problematic. So like I said in the beginning of the video, in February I went to Washington DC with my parents and my brother, and I got a lot of books while I was there, which is no surprise really. I already knew that I was going to do that and I might have gone a bit crazy, but what can I do? So the books that I'm going to show you are like out of order because I don't remember in which order I've got them, so I'm just gonna show you all the books. First up, I have the only paperback that I got in this trip, and it is The Lonely Hearts Hotel by Heather O'Neill. Now, I don't think this is a very famous book, at least it's not. I haven't heard a lot about it. I think I discovered it on Goodreads maybe, I don't know. I think I saw someone saying that this kind of had Night Circus vibes, and I love the Night Circus, so I decided to get it. I read the synopsis, it sounded interesting. I think it's about a boy and a girl in New York in the 1920s or 30s, I don't know. And I think they're orphans. Oh wait, it's not in New York, it's in Canada, it's in Montreal. But anyways, like in the 20s and 30s in Canada, and they're orphans, and it's basically about the two of them just having to survive. And this just sounded really interesting to me. I hope I love it. I hope I like the vibe. And I hate this. I got this at Target and it was like the book club pick, and they have this little fake sticker, and I hate this so much because I actually really love this cover. I love like the old font and like the moon and the feet, and this just ruins it, man. Like, please don't do, publishers, please don't do fake stickers like this one. At Target, I also got Everless and Evermore by Sarah Holland. Everless is the first book, Evermore is the second book. I don't really know what they're about. They're about a girl, I guess, and I think it's high fantasy, like YA high fantasy, and I saw these two all over Bookstagram. These sounded really interesting. I think they have like okay, or at least good ratings on Goodreads, so I decided to pick them up. The next book is one that I was incredibly excited about, and I got it at Barnes & Noble. I got like the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, and it was funny because I had already gotten a lot of books at this first Barnes & Noble that I went to with my dad, and I had like an armful of books, and I was going down the escalator to pay for the books, and I just saw this book, and I was like, oh my god, how did I forget about this book? This is one of the books that I'm most excited about. And that book is The Wicked King by Holly Black. I just had to pick up The Wicked King. I just had to read it. I just had to buy it after I read The Cruel Prince because I loved The Cruel Prince. And this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition with the black cover. It is white underneath with green details. It's so gorgeous. And I actually already read this book. I finished it last week, I think, and I loved it. That ending was... I don't even know what to say about that ending. I already knew that this book had like a real cliffhanger of an ending, but I didn't know it would be so like... I I just need the next book in this series, like, right now. Holly Black, please, at least give us a cover. I am dying for this book. Oh my god. Really recommend this series. Actually, I don't know if I recommend this series because I personally loved the 2 books that are out, but they really have some problematic aspects. The main couple in this series is problematic in their ways, but yeah, I don't know. I think if you're interested, you should watch reviews and book talks and just take a look at the synopsis. I will probably put up a review for The Wicked King because I liked it so much. But yeah, I already read this and loved it. Next, at 2 different Barnes & Nobles, I got 2 classics. The first one that I got is this gorgeous penguin cloth-bound edition of Don Quixote. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I've been wanting to start collecting the penguin cloth-bounds for some time now, and this is the only one that I found while perusing, you know, physical bookstores. It has like a ribbon bookmark and it's really cute. I actually have an edition of Don Quixote in Portuguese. Wow, okay. I just recently posted it on my Bookstagram. I'll leave the link down below if you want to check out my account. And I think I'm actually going to read this edition because the one that I have in Portuguese is huge and really heavy, even though it's gorgeous. I think I'm going to read this one. And I also got this gorgeous Barnes & Noble edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. This is a book that I read when I was a kid. I mean Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I think I started Through the Looking Glass, but I never got through it. And I don't know. I've seen so many booktubers talking about how they love this book and Alice, and I really like the Disney movie, so I just wanted to reread this and see what I think about it. Because when I read it, I was like maybe 8 or 9, and I really just don't remember what happens in the story. I vaguely remember the movie because I haven't watched it in like maybe 10 years, I don't know. So I'm really curious to read the original book. I still have so many books and it's already like 16 minutes of raw video, so I'm gonna rush through these. Okay, so one book that I also was really excited about because it just came out in January was Famous in a Small Town by Emma Mills. I feel like I say this in every single video or Instagram post, but I love Emma Mills' books. I love them. I just really love them. I'm not the biggest contemporary person, but her contemporaries are just so fluffy and heartwarming and cute, and I just had to get Famous in a Small Town. I love this cover. I love Emma Mills' books, and I already read it as well. I don't think you can see the tabs, but it has like tons of tabs. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Loved it. Still not my favorite. My favorite is still Its Adventure Ends, but I'm going to reread it soon and see if it's still my favorite Emma Mills book. And if you're looking for a cute summer contemporary, this is it. Go pick this up. I related so much to the main character, Sophie. I loved her friends. I just love the story overall. Love this book. Next book that I have to show is Empress of All Seasons by Emiko Jean. I'm really not sure what this book is about. I have a feeling it's about the daughter of a samurai. I think I read that somewhere, but I'm not sure. I just know that this is an Asian-inspired fantasy. I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese-inspired fantasy, which is so exciting. I love Asian-inspired fantasies, and I've been wanting to read more of them. And how gorgeous is this cover? I just love it. It's gorgeous, and I had to pick up this book. And then I got another Asian-inspired fantasy, which is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. Now, I wasn't planning on picking up this book, but I saw it, like, it was a random store at a mall. It wasn't even a bookstore. It just sold kind of everything. And I saw it, and it was like $5, the hardcover, and it's in pristine conditions. And I've never read a Renee Ahdieh book, so I had to get it. It was cheap. And I'm curious to see if I like it. The next book that I got is another 2019 release, and it is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I think it's going to be a series or a trilogy, I don't know. And I heard so many people raving about this book. I heard amazing things about it. My experience with Beauty and the Beast retellings hasn't been the best. I think I've only read ACOTAR, but I didn't love ACOTAR. So I'm really excited to read this one, and I really hope I enjoy it. The next book that I got is another 2019 release, and it is The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chokshi. It was also a Barnes & Noble exclusive, so it had that annoying sticker in here, and now I just can't take this white part off, which is like I said, annoying. I think this book is a fantasy that happens like in Paris in the 1920s or something like that. It sounds cool and mysterious, and I have heard mixed reviews about it. I've recently saw a few reviews that said it was confusing and people DNFing it because of that, but nonetheless, I'm really excited to read it. I also haven't read anything by Roshni Chakshi, so excited to pick it up. This next book is another one that everyone has been raving about. I have heard nothing but great things about it. And even the guy from the Barnes & Noble that I was in said it's a great book, and I just had to pick it up. I've been wanting it for some time now, and that book is Circe by Madeline Miller. So this is an adult fantasy that, you know, just tells the story of Circe, that sorceress from the Odyssey? Yeah, I think it's the Odyssey. And everyone raves about this book. I have no doubt that I'm going to enjoy it. At least I really hope to enjoy it. But yeah, I just had to get it. I actually wanted that other cover, the one that has like flowers or leaves or whatever they are. That one is really beautiful, but they only had this one, and it's okay. I'm in this for the book itself. Next book that I have to show is one that I was really excited about, and I'm still really excited about it because I haven't read it yet. I have been waiting for this to come out for months now. Not a lot, because I read the previous books only in the second semester last year, but I love this author so much, and I love the main characters in this book so much that I was really excited about it. And that book is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I am dying to read this book. I can't believe I haven't read it yet, but it's on my March TBR, so hopefully I will get to this as soon as I finish my current reads. And what can I say? I love Nikolai Lantov, which is the main character in this book. I love the other characters that I know will appear in this book, like Nina and Zoya and Genya. And I'm just really, really excited to read this. And the last two books that I have to show you are two books that I'm really excited about. And those are The Last Magician and The Devil's Thief by Lisa Maxwell. Now, again, I don't really know what these books are about. Clearly, they're about, like, magicians. But from what I remember, I think the magicians are like going extinct or something like that, and I think this one goes on in New York, like in I don't know if it's like in our current century or if it's the last century. I don't know, guys. This just sounded really interesting when I heard about it. I saw Reagan from Peru's Project rave about these books, and it just sounded really interesting. It's fantasy, sounds right up my alley, and just recently Hannah from A Clockwork Reader gave the two books 5 stars, so I'm really excited to start reading this series. Alright everyone, I think I didn't forget any books, and that's it for today's video. Since the semester has already begun, I probably will only be posting 1 video per week. I have an extended weekend right now since it's carnival, and I won't leave my house because I hate carnival. So I will try to pre-record a few videos. I have a few ideas, some things that I'm really excited about, but I probably will only post 1 video per week because otherwise I just won't be able to deal with the channel and university and all that's going on in my life. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!